Thank you for joining us today as we share a story about Emma, a 14-year-old athlete with scoliosis. After a failed attempt at bracing, Emma and her mother Andrea found hope with a new treatment called the tether. With the support of one another, they decided to embark on a journey to a straighter spine.
My name's Andrea. I'm Emma's mom. We live in San Antonio, Texas, and we're here to tell our story. Emma's always been an active, energetic little girl, and she is still all of those things today.
Hi, I'm Emma, and I've been playing volleyball for 4 years now, and I'm an outside hitter. Well, at first when I started playing volleyball, I was really bad, and so it took a lot of hard work and dedication to get to where I am now. But I just love the intensity level and all my teammates. I love them, and it's just a great community to be around, and it's just every day is so fun, and I just love doing what I do because that's all of it. It's really fun.
In sixth grade, at the end of the school year, we did the annual physical and we found scoliosis. We went and saw a specialist, and she was already at 28 degrees, and you start bracing around 20. So our goal was to keep her as close to 28 as we could, and she was amazing and wore her brace 18 hours a day for the next 2 years. She spent almost her entire middle school in a brace, round the clock. And I couldn't be more proud of her. And
Well, at first when I got diagnosed with scoliosis, I had no idea what it was. I was super confused, and I was like, oh, it's not a big deal, it's fine. And then my mom was like, oh, you have to wear a brace. I was like, okay, fine. I wasn't really expecting anything much of it. But then I got the brace, and I was so mad. So scoliosis, I didn't think it was going to be all that, but it really was. And it played a big factor in my life. And I'm really happy it's over with. But the brace, it always sucked because all my friends didn't have one. And I was not weird, but it was different. No one knew what scoliosis was. And it was hard because all my friends would wear all their cute clothes, and I always had my hoodies and big shirts. It was so frustrating. I was always just so mad about it. And I got emotional now and then. I'd get sad about it, but it honestly builds character development because it takes a lot of dedication to be wearing that for so long. I wore the brace for 2 years till 17 to 20 hours a day. Just kind of depended on the day, but still a lot.
it was torture for everyone, including me. And I feel like as a mom, it took away part of our relationship. When she got in the car from school, I didn't say, how was your day? I said, did you wear it? How many hours? How many hours did you have it off? And it was a part of our life. It was part of our conversation. It was part of our day. We were counting hours. We were fighting it the whole time. At one point, I think it was her first couple x-rays, she got better. She got down to 22, and we're like, it's working, but it does what it wants to do. We kept it under 35 for 2 years. And then as soon as we were about to get the brace off, we were gonna go clothes shopping, we were gonna go out to dinner, we're going to celebrate. Instead of getting the okay that we're done bracing, she had jumped 10 degrees. And obviously that was emotional, it was heartbreaking. And that's the thing about scoliosis, you never know what it's gonna do. We did the best we could, and she did the best she could, and we couldn't have done anything better. Knowing that we did everything we could and it still increased the way it did, I think it was that cycle of emotions. I think we went to angry, we went to sad, we went to acceptance, we went back to angry. But what was great about our relationship is we picked each other up through all of this, and we immediately started making plan B. So we didn't dwell in it. It was, what are we going to do about it? But so our Scoli brace provider, who's a chiropractor, had an x-ray on his wall of VBT, and I saw the x-ray on his wall of a spine that had the screws in it, and I said, whoa, 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 what is this? Because it wasn't 2 rods down the middle. And he said, this is exactly what everyone should be doing. This is the future. This is what everyone should be doing for kids. That's a non-fused, no rods, and I had never heard of it before. And I stared at that. I got closer and I inspected, and I tried to ask questions and get as much information from him as I could. I wanted to know more. Is she a candidate? What does this mean? How much does it cost? Where do we go? I couldn't get enough information fast enough. So that night we went home and researched and found VBT, ASC, and we studied it for hours. I called Emma in. Emma, look. And she's like, yeah, cool. And she, not impressed. But that's when I found the VBT option to be such a breath of fresh air, that somebody took this challenge on, somebody recognized that there was a problem, somebody said, can we do better? Somebody went against all that pressure of this is what we do. Nope, this is what we've always done. This is the only option for scoliosis. And I was so relieved that there was an option, whether she was a candidate or not, but at least there was hope. There was hope, if even for somebody else. I immediately felt more comfortable with more education that was provided. Everything was transparent, out in the open, the pros, the cons, and I knew this was the best choice for Emma, considering how active she is and how involved she is with volleyball. Keep her mobility and non-invasive. She can come back a lot sooner. She doesn't have a big scar down her back. So we wanted to get in as soon as we can. So I felt confident in our surgeon choice because there was so much material, from education to advice to pros and cons, so much literature, years and years of dedication towards, from the very beginning. I felt confident that this person is educated, he's engaged, he's involved. This is all he does. He's invested. He treated her with respect and kindness, and his bedside manner was great. And just knowing how many surgeries he's done, he's experienced, we felt really, really good. And we traveled a long way from Texas. If you don't have that surgeon in your city or your closest major city, travel, go there. Telemedicine is becoming a thing, doing FaceTime checkups. We mail in our x-rays. We get x-rayed in Texas and we mail it. And we do everything over email, FaceTime, and that's the future. Just you're not limited to the doctors in your city. We didn't hesitate to travel halfway across the country because we've come so far already. We've invested in the braces that weren't covered by insurance, but most importantly, Emma invested. Why wouldn't we finish it and finish strong? You can always get a fusion later. I know surgery is traumatic, and that scoliosis is traumatic. And, give yourself a chance to have your mobility, but also just, I don't want to say advanced science, but give science a chance. The tether is a device that goes alongside the spine. So titanium screws go in one side of the spine where it's curved, no more, no less, just the curve. And then the tether is attached to the screws and it's tightened. So it's like an internal brace, like the external brace that you wear will straighten you up, and when you're not wearing it, you kind of relax, but it's internal, so it's tight and it makes that curve straight. But what's exciting is when you grow, it even straightens you out even more.
So pretty much the tether to me is pretty much what my mom said. It goes through your side, and you don't have to have a long scar on your back. You just get 3 little ones on the side, and they put little door stoppers in your spine, and it corrects it, but not fully corrected, but straight.
Tether was the best option for Emma. One, she was a candidate, so we were super excited, but she's so active and she's so involved in volleyball, and she's hopeful to be a collegiate athlete. And if she has those goals, I want to do everything I can to support her goals. She's done so much work on her own to get herself where she needs to be with athletics and volleyball that I'm only going to cheer her on all the way. And I didn't want to limit mobility. I didn't want a year-long recovery, because at the competitive level she's at, if you're down for a year, that's a lot to make up.
Before the surgery, I was honestly kind of excited because I've been watching all this Grey's Anatomy. Like, it was so fun. And the doctors were super nice. Everyone was super nice, and it was a good place to go to. And I was a little nervous before, but it wasn't too bad.
How did I feel? I had two faces. With Emma, it's fine. We're having fun. This is good. We're talking Grey's Anatomy. But on the inside, as a parent and as a mom, I was trembling. You know, I knew how much it was going to hurt. She was all smiles going into it, and I knew I wasn't going to get that same smiling baby back for a while.
It hurt a lot. I was in a lot of pain, and I was like, oh, why did my mom have to make me get this? I was so mad. But I was just, after the surgery, like a few months after to where I am now, I'm super grateful for what she did for me. And honestly, I'm very blessed to have a mother to go all that way, and me being not the nicest to her sometimes. And it was a good experience at the hospital, but the overall outcome was really good, and I'm super happy. I don't have to wear the brace anymore, and I feel the same, like I feel normal.
The first thing I felt after surgery was I get my daughter back. We don't have to talk about this brace anymore. And it was, I don't know, sad or surreal. When Emma slept in her bed for the first time in 2.5 years without a brace on, my bed is really soft. I never knew what my bed felt like. But the rest of it was excited too, that we're done. We're done. This is it. And what a story. And I know it's horrible, and she spent her middle school years in a brace, but you are so strong and courageous beyond your years. And I'm sorry this is your story. I'm so sorry, but you're awesome. And I hope that when she's in her 20s and when she's facing adversity, she can look back and say, wow, we killed it. And I can do anything, like, I hope that she learned the value of research, the value of going out on a limb. I hope she's learned all sorts of things through her journey. First, to the team members that make this product and make it better, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, obviously. One, you're doing something super cool because you get to be innovative. You get to take on a new challenge and a new problem, and we don't get to do that much. And to have like all of this road ahead of you, and you are like the trailblazers, awesome. It's amazing. I'm jealous because I don't get to go to work every day and trailblaze. I am pushing paper and making a difference in my company, but not in the lives, especially of kids. Kids that this happened to them. They don't deserve it, and these kids are precious, and they have nothing but like future ahead of them, and you don't want to limit them. Of course, you want to give them the best, but you guys are giving that opportunity to make that happen. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And part 2 of this is Emma in particular. Volleyball isn't just a thing for her. She's worked really, really hard at it. Taking away volleyball for her would cripple her. It's not just a sport to her. This is her confidence. This is her self-worth as to where she's at in her life. Like, she's 14. She doesn't have a whole lot of options, but like, this is what's given her strength in who she is and who she's going to be, but taking away something that's so personal to her would have killed me. And because of this option, she gets to move around, and I'm so proud of her.
I'm very grateful for the team members who made the product because it changed my life. It really did, and I'm very grateful for it. And I really hope it can change other girls, boys' lives too.
We hope you enjoyed Emma's story. To learn more about the tether and other treatment options for scoliosis, please visit myscoliosis.com, our patient-centered website that's focused on the scoliosis journey and how we can help. Common postoperative risks include overcorrection of the instrumented curve, cord breakage, nausea, vomiting, and bone screw migration. The tether is not appropriate for patients who have reached skeletal maturity, have poor bone quality, or have a systemic or local infection at the surgical site. The tether is approved as a humanitarian device for patients with idiopathic scoliosis with a Cobb angle of 30 to 65 degrees. Patients should have failed bracing and/or be intolerant to wear a brace. There is probable benefit of the device, but its efficacy is still unproven. All content herein is protected by copyright, trademarks, and other intellectual property rights as applicable, owned by or licensed to Zimmer Biomet or its affiliates unless otherwise indicated, and must not be redistributed, duplicated, or disclosed in whole or in part without the express written consent of Zimmer Biomet. Not all patients are candidates for this product or procedure. Results are not necessarily typical, indicative, or representative of all recipient patients, and results may vary. Appropriate postoperative activities will differ from patient to patient. For full indications, contraindications, warnings, precautions, risks, or potential adverse effects, visit myscoliosis.com.